Welcome back to another Super Sick Saturday here with Saleh. Anyways, first things first, Jesse Falcon got back to me on the Annihilus figure, and he said that the reason why that figure didn't get mass distributed was because towards the end of that Fantastic Four run series, that was supposed to be the last wave. So the last wave just didn't get distributed. Stores didn't want to carry any more Fantastic Four figures. They're trying to get rid of what they still had, and so that wave only made it out to maybe 2 stores in Europe and became a really hot and rare item. Anyways, let's move on here. Here we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends Magneto Fans Choice prototype, a figure that was part of the Fans Choice when we voted for Sunfire. The Age of Apocalypse Sunfire, and to be honest with you, the reason why I voted for that Age of Apocalypse Sunfire was because of the articulation. This Magneto was actually part of that poll, and I am so glad that nobody voted for the majority of those figures. Although there was some great figures in there, great sculpts, the articulation on most of those figures was just down south, man. And you can see here with this Magneto, the best thing about this Magneto prototype is the cape and the helmet. The figure itself, including the head sculpt is just too cartoonish, and the body just does not cut it for articulation. You can really, you can't do anything with this figure. I got to be careful with this prototype because this prototype is resin cast, and we'll get into that a little bit later in this episode. Now here we're going to compare it to the Toy Biz figure. Now anatomically with the body, Hasbro got it correct. Magneto is a slimmer character, but once again, this figure falters in so many ways. Articulation from top to bottom is just really bad. Personally, the cape on the Hasbro one is a lot better. I do like the cape a lot better. Just the detail in the cape and the fact that it kind of folds over his shoulders. Looks awesome because it represents the comic accurately, so I like that. Let's take a quick look at these helmets. The helmet's also pretty cool. See, it's a resin cast prototype, so I got to be careful here not to chip it and do this carefully. That's an original figure. Now that figure's going to go straight back and get put away as soon as I'm done here. Let's put these on my pinky and take a closer look here. I just like the detail on this Hasbro one versus the Toy Biz one, which is on my right pinky. Also, there's a slit on the side, which is pretty cool. Just the detail on it just is a little bit thicker and is a little more accentuated. You can see the top part of Magneto's helmet didn't get painted. I'm pretty sure if I paint this Magneto helmet, it'll look just as awesome. Why do I like the Hasbro helmet? It's because of the eye socket. The part around the eye is just a little bit bigger, and there's a slit on the side of the helmet. Just those little things like that, I go wild for. The head sculpt. See this head sculpt, Hasbro? That looks too cartoonish for me. Those eyebrows are too thick, and they're just, this character looks cartoonish. I could paint it so that it looks a little more detailed and looks better. And shave down the eyebrows, of course, but I like this. I like this Toy Biz one. It just the paint app and the head sculpt's really cool. Now this one here, like I said, I could change it, but once again, this is an original prototype, probably a prototype that will never get produced, so I'm not touching it. I've already casted this head and helmet so that I can make a copy of this replica and full posable 6-inch figure. Now see, here's the cape. The cape is awesome. Now, if they do end up making a 6-inch Magneto, please give them the articulation, Hasbro. Leave comments below, guys, of how you feel about this prototype as well. My biggest thing is these joints. You can see the pins in there. This is resin cast, so I got to be very careful with it. But look at that single jointed elbow, the pin. I don't mind so much the hands, interchangeable hands, and all that. I don't mind that, but I can't deal with it. Articulation. Now this has no waist swivel. It does have that ab torso, but really it does nothing. Of course, it doesn't really bend forward as much. Now, once again, this figure wasn't produced and will probably never be produced. See that single jointed elbows and the single jointed shoulder? That kills me, man. I can't. I just hate those joints. Look at single jointed um, knees. That's another thing. I like double jointed knees. I can't deal with that. These joints at the hip, you know, ball joints. We need ball joints there. These kind of little things right here make such a big difference in the figure. The Marvel Select figure that just came out recently has better articulation than this, although the character's too tall. But I could not, I can't stand these joints. I never could. I really feel like the Black Bolt that came out in the Nemesis wave and the Warlock figure that came out are just, you know, horrible to me just because of the articulation. I'm hoping when they come out with Marvel Legends in 2012 that a lot of these characters that they screwed up on articulation, they redo. I would love to see another Black Bolt done correctly, another Warlock done correctly with the articulation and whatnot. Anyways, this here is also a prototype. So how can you tell if it's a prototype? For one, there's pins. There's metal pins in the joints. It's not plastic. It's made out of. This is actually a resin copy, and the joints are a little stiff. You got to be careful because this will crack. This one here, see how it just slides right off the foot. These resin casts, they're used as prototypes to present. For example, this figure got presented to Toys R Us, and that's when Toys R Us makes the decision whether to carry it or not. So they present this figure, and after that, Toys R Us will say, yeah, okay, we'll carry the figure, and then these figures, they get destroyed. These figures are not supposed to be kept. Maybe some of these people at Hasbro will take them home, but for the most part, most prototypes are destroyed. And like I said, they're made out of clay, sculpted, and then they'll make resin casts of the parts, just like I do out of heads and whatnot. And this is the same deal with this Magneto. It's actually a resin cast, so you know, I got to be careful because it chips. That's why I rarely like pulling it out. It'll chip, it'll crack, it'll break, and then I got to glue it back together, and it deters the value of the figure. But anyways, the sculpt is pretty decent. It's a decent sculpt. Once again, the figure's supposed to be slim, but I am so glad that this figure will not get released. Not the figure itself. I do want a Magneto from Hasbro, but this sculpt in particular. And let me tell you guys, it's important that you voice your opinion and always be true to your opinion and let Hasbro know how you feel. And that's the whole deal of doing these videos and you guys posting your comments, because you want to let them know how you feel and what you think of certain figures, and they can improve upon that, you know. And that's how I do it, you know. As much as you know, a lot of the guys are cool, and you know, I'm friends with Dave Vonner and Dwight Stahl. I tell them if I feel something doesn't look right, I let them know. Just like you guys let me know with my figures, you know, if my Hulk sculpt doesn't look right, something looks cheesy about it, you guys tell me, hey, Solid, that looks kind of crappy, or the nose didn't come out right, and it's up to me to fix it. So it's important that you guys always leave comments and be real about it, you know, no suck-ups. Anyways, let's take a good look at both of these figures again. Zoom in a little bit and take a look from top to bottom. Now for me, I'll stick with the Toy Biz one, just because that articulation is just phenomenal. I can do so many things with that Toy Biz Magneto, versus if, you know, if this got released over here, I wouldn't be able to do anything. Once again, you know, my opinion. This is my opinion, but Hasbro, if you do release a Magneto, please don't ruin it by giving us joints that just don't bend, like those joints at the hip. I mean, really, there's nothing we can really do with this figure. It's so difficult to pose. We can get a few good poses out of it, but that's about it. That's about it. Once again, here you go. Now, this prototype I'm going to go ahead and send up to AFA for grading, and he will be encased, sealed, and put away for life. So this is basically the last time I will handle this figure for your viewing pleasure only. And we'll continue doing some reviews on prototypes. I still got a bunch of stuff coming up, and remember guys, Super 6 Saturdays, me, Bug, and Red Hulk 80 will be pumping out videos, and we'll be doing this for the rest of the year. Keep you guys in tune. And also guys, expect in about 3 weeks from now for Titanium Man 6-inch Legends Iron Man 2 figures to be hitting the shelves. And let's buy those up. They're going to be hot. And continue to support Legends to the max. You guys take care, and see you next time.